Hello everyone, welcome back to the 5th episode of PARRAdise, the official Parramatta Eels podcast. First and foremost, we'd like to say thank you to our sponsor, Sport Bible Australia. Shout out to you guys. I'm joined here on the couch again with my right-hand man, one and only Olan Tekkers. What's going on?
Thank you for having me. I feel like we're building this rapport.
You want me to introduce
Go on,
our
you do
guest?
your intro. Is your roommate you
all
go
right.
on?
Oh, well, you just spoiled it for
Oh,
everyone, mate.
shit, my bad.
Okay, so he is my roommate. Maybe only select fans would know who my roommate is, so maybe a surprise still. He made his debut in round 10 of the 2020 season for Parramatta at 28 years old, making him the 4th oldest player to debut in the NRL era. He's played 22 games for the Eels and he's nearing 50 NRL games in total. This is an outstanding point too. He's an all-round legend and good bloke. Great inclusion,
I
Chess.
love that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Davey.
Andrew, thank you for joining us, mate. that's a key point. You got to be a good
It's in
bloke.
bold too, and like underlined.
Yeah, I love that. How are you, mate?
Well.
Good.
Yeah, good. First and foremost, what's it like living with this bloke? Let's not be around the bush.
Oh, if we're straight down the middle, we don't have enough time. It's been good enough to stick around for 5 years.
Yeah,
so.
5 years is a long time. You two must have seen each other grow and like go through different parts in life and all that kind. 5 years that's a chunk of your life.
100%. We've been like brothers, really, mate. You know, it's
Was it footy that drew you guys together originally?
Yeah, so we never even knew of each other until we both turned up our first day at Parramatta training, and there was me, AD, and Junior were the only blokes who had any facial hair on them, really. So all the rest, it was back when Dylan was still probably 70 kilos, ringing wet, and I think Reedy was maybe there, a few other younger boys coming through the ranks. So me and AD just found our way to ourselves and just said, like, let's be gym buddies for now, and
Just blossomed after that.
just blossomed.
That's
exactly.
how it starts. Gym bros, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Them
Gym bros.
how far you can go with the gym bros, mate.
It was late October when we started. We come in early.
Yeah,
And then, through November, and just happened that our birthdays on the same day. So,
Oh, what?
so a month into being mates,
Yeah.
we'd already
Jeez.
had something in common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's sick. And you debuted quite late. What was that process like for you, joining the NRL quite late in your, later than normal people would?
I think the experiences definitely differs a lot from your regular first grader, being so old, but we were just not expecting to be able to get to that level. I've said it a bunch of times, but you sort of think that ship sailed once you get to that sort of age. So to get there, it was more of a surprise more than anything, but it's more of a surprise overall. That's as you're going through it, you step by step, and you don't notice the enormity of it until you've sort of done it.
Were you motivating them along the journey, Laney?
Yeah, well, I only met him, I think you were 26 when you joined Parra, weren't you? Is that when it was?
Yeah, 26,
26.
27,
But that year, we trained together for a few months and he needed a place to stay. So I was like, yeah, come move in. I got a spare room. And that year he played every game in reserve grade pretty much, I think. And we made the grand final of the New South Wales Cup for Wentworthville. And he got our New South Wales Cup Player of the Year. So he was unlucky not to debut in 2019, to be fair. I think I played every game in the back row. We play in the same position, obviously. So we had me, Murata, Manu playing just about every game. So AD was just really unlucky not to debut that previous year.
It's probably one of our better years as Parramatta with injuries. Like, I don't think anybody really had any long-term injuries that year at all.
I did miss 2 games, actually. I know I missed 1 game with the Avocado incident, which AD got to witness.
I didn't see
Pretty funny story.
Avocado.
Tell me.
Yeah, we were at home and Laney's getting ready for first grade. We're playing that day. I'm not sure I think reserve grade might even had the weekend off. So we're at home and Laney's going through his normal game day routine of making himself lunch just before he leaves. And for me, all I heard was, oh fuck, and then it was just like a silence. It was like, what's going on? And he's like, oh no, I've cut myself, and I'm going, oh, do you want a Band-Aid? I've got Band-Aids in the room. I'll go get you a Band-Aid. And as I've come back from getting my Band-Aid, there's blood pouring down the sink.
Oh my God.
And the lady's sitting there staring at the ceiling, turning white. I was like, I think it's going to be a bit more than a Band-Aid.
How bad was it?
Yeah. Well, you can kind of see the scar here. It goes like halfway around my finger. So I was trying to pry an avocado seed out. It was a really stubborn seed though. It's like particularly firm. Just wouldn't come out. But I was trying to do it with a butter knife. I know it's dumb. I've had so many suggestions since. Everyone's telling me how dumb I am. I get it. Yeah. I tried to just do the standard horizontal chop, then the vertical chop.
And none
of it was working. So then I instead of just doing something different, I still tried to get it out with the butter knife by pressing it in real slowly, and it just slips off the seed through my finger. Oh no! And then, God, it's just bleeding everywhere. It was actually gushing out because I severed the artery, so it was just
days.
pretty traumatic stuff.
To cut it off? Was it lucky that it was artery, mate? Jeez.
We didn't know what to do, whether to take him to the
hospital
or we ended up talking to the physio, and the doctor said just bring him into the game.
Okay.
And they stitched him up and he played that game. But just before he left, I was like, I'll drive. But just before he left, I'm like, I might just put my boots in my bag just in case I might get a run here. But they stitched him up and he played on.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was saying to him in the car, I remember, I'm like, you might get a run here, how good. I was like, oh, surely I can't play with this.
I'm playing dumb, like, oh, yeah, well, fuck, maybe I should bring my boots. They're in the back seat, ready to go.
And I stepped.
Do you guys have that competitive nature playing the same position? Sometimes. Do you think
I think it's been more supportive, mate, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just been because we're learning the same things, and I had a bit more experience playing NRL when AD joined Parramatta. I think kind of telling him what I think about how to play and things to learn along the way. Yeah, so I'd like to think I've helped him a little bit. I don't know.
Definitely when I debuted and then those first few games, it's very... You're very nervous while you're playing your first couple of games. You don't want to mess up because you want to make a good impression and stay in the side. So, there'd be scrums we'd pack down for, and I'd be like, I get the carry here, don't I? The next day, yep, no worries. You take carry too, yep. So it was good to have him on the field too, because I always knew I wasn't going to be able to be judged. He was going to be able to help me out. So it was good like that.
AD, so away from footy, what kind of a guy are you? Like, what do you do in your spare time?
Spare time. I'm really I'm more about wholesome activities. I come from the bush, so I love
Queenslander, ain't you?
In Queensland, grew up in the middle of the country where we grew up with a dam. It was just dirty water. So now that I get to live near the beach, I'm there every day.
Okay,
but I love camping. I love fishing, full driving, any sort of adventure. I'm always looking for the next one to.
Spear fisherman, he loves his spearing.
Spear fishing.
Every day we go down there. Every day we go down the cafe if it's nice and glassy. Good day for a spear cob.
So do you just grab? You just put literally just stabbing the fish with a spear? Is it how
we've got a gun with rubbers, so you pull the trigger and it fires a spear.
I'll have to give that a go one day, mate.
Mate,
I'm actually sick.
I've never actually fired it. I've just kind of watched him, but I've gone snorkeling at the same time. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Where do you guys normally go? Actually, I don't want to give people a location. Forget about that.
In the water.
In the water. In the water.
Yeah, that's the key.
Somewhere. 6 again. Do we want to go into 6 again?
Talk about, I reckon, getting to playing first grade. I reckon AD's got a good story where, like he said before, he doesn't come from your traditional...
You're pretty similar in that respect as well.
Oh, I grew up in the city and everything though. Like when you grow up in the city, you're exposed to junior development pathways and junior rep teams. So anyone, even if it takes you a while to showcase your talent, you will get picked up. Whereas AD grew up in a small central Queensland town in Emerald. And from there, he took each step of the way, slowly getting better and better, never realising that his end goal was going to be eventually playing first grade. Obviously, that was the dream the whole time, but I think it's a pretty amazing journey. Like, do you want to touch on some of the steps you took?
Well, like you said, Emerald's is a small place.
So where is it, in Queensland?
Yeah, it's in central Queensland, in the Central Highlands. It's sort of like the hub of the Central Highlands. It's very, it's all coal mining country.
Oh, wow.
And we grew up there. There's probably like 15,000 people in town.
Wow.
There's 2 football clubs in town, and then obviously your surrounding areas, which are around an hour away. So, growing up as a kid, I played juniors there for the Emerald Tigers, and then went and played seniors for the other Emerald side, Emerald Cowboys, where I sort of developed my love for in that team environment, being in that team environment. But when we were kids, it was sort of weird growing up there because football was life there. Like it was everything to everybody in town. You used to go, you'd play early in the day as a young kid, and then you'd stay all day and watch reserve grade and A grade at night.
It's like a full day thing. Yeah,
and you'd have anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 people there, which is a big deal in such a
small town,
rural area.
100%.
Yeah. So it was, and as I grew up, football was always big for us. We always had a strong side, and as I got into A grade, it sort of just started to slowly dwindle, which is sort of sad because the area did so well from football. It brought people to the area, and it sort of moved from playing football to being in jobs in coal mines, and it started to move away from football. And sadly, it's dying out there. But like I played 6 years of A grade in the bush,
Wow.
so it was
That is experience there.
yeah. To give you an idea on the professionalism there, like we were pulling blokes out of the crowd just to make the numbers.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's sick.
yeah. As a couple of our mates would turn up half blind.
And
They've been on the drink for the day and turning up to play for us at night. The amount of times we played with 11 players,
wow.
and being competitive at the same time, because some of those small country towns we're getting ex-NRL players back to work in the mines. So we played against people like Sione Famuina, Barry Berrigan, Carl Webb. Players like that.
You don't know who they are.
No idea.
No idea.
It's before my day.
So it was sort of, you just did your best with what you had, and you played footy on the weekend. You got
How
to run
did
with
you
mates.
know, like you were gonna get a chance at that next level? What was that transition
I
period like?
never knew. I never knew. And it was only till I sort of
Just turn up and play with your mates, really.
Yeah,
That's
you know,
what
I
it was.
never thought about it until work started to, like, I'm a carpenter by trade, and work started to dwindle a bit in town, and I'd already moved around a little bit, and I'd came back, and my parents had moved on to Mackay,
Whereabouts is that?
It's North Queensland. It's not far North Queensland. It's the start of North Queensland.
Are you a Cowboys fan then?
No. See, I grew up in the 90s when the Broncos were at their peak.
Okay.
So
more
Broncos were, our team, my team growing up. But yeah, like being in Mackay, I thought, well, there's no point me being here anymore. I haven't got a support network, that's larger than the couple of mates that I do have. I might as well move to Mackay. And I thought this might be a great chance for me to progress my footy, just see where I'm at, just to try and make the A-grade Mackay side, like it was, that was sort of like a little goal that I just set myself, and it wasn't even set myself. It's like, well, I'm not going to stay here for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So I rang the coach there, and he was quite happy to have me come out. And once I got there and had a little bit of love and care put into my game, and just a little bit of coaching, I started to realise that I was actually not too bad at football, and I was competitive, and it just sort of snowballed from there. But I never really set that NRL goal. It just sort of happened bit by bit.
Just
Yeah,
enjoying your footy.
yeah.
That's interesting what you say about leaving the hometown, because I mean, if you remember, my thought train was
Leave your hometown.
leave your hometown and get yourself outside your comfort zone, because you can always come back. And
Such insightful.
That's
And then
exactly what you
prime
know,
example.
No, that's why he's here. So
The philosopher, he knows what he's talking about.
So that when you got to Mackay, how old were you then?
It was end of 2014, so I would have been 23, 24.
So he's 23, 24, only just starting to play A grade in Mackay, in a bigger town, really. And then from there you start going well in A grade, then get selected for Mackay Cutters.
Yeah. So I spent the year in the local grade there for West in Mackay, under Mick Baker, and he just happened to have a relationship with Cutters, the Q Cup side there, and it wasn't even given a contract. It was just a train and trial. Like, come and train with us and see how you go.
Those are always difficult, aren't they? Because it's like you're. I mean, I've done it when I've played professionally, bro. You're in the environment, you're with everyone else that's almost like signed, but you're trying to take someone's place almost.
That's right.
So they're friends with you, but they're not too close.
Yeah, they're not real matey. You know, they're
Mm.
thinking this guy could probably take my spot. I'm not going to be overly generous about my time I spend with him, but I was lucky that the guys that I got to go through that with were all tradesmen. We're all soul of the earth blokes who just they were just there to play football as well. You know, as a hobby, which I was too at that point. It was just the next step. So went on to get a contract with them and got rookie of the year. I was probably the oldest rookie they've ever had. I was like 25 years old.
Matter, man.
He's breaking all the records for oldest player to do X.
Yeah. So my whole career, I'm just being told how old I am. But yeah, I spent 2 years at the Cutters there and captained them in my second year. And then Christian Wolf actually brought me up to the Blackhawks.
He's the assistant coach for Wayne Bennett now. Yeah.
Yes, at Dolphins. Yeah. Yep. And I played a year under him, and then it just sort of took off. Like the more love I got given, the more I responded to, and
How important were the coaches along each step of the journey? Because that's what I'm really curious to know. Because obviously, when you came from that small town, you didn't really have an idea of how good you were until you went somewhere else, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, yep. It was every coach definitely had their part in my development. And whether it was good or bad, it was an essential part of my development. Probably not just as a player, but a person as well, and how to deal with those people, and what you get out of those people, and how they can get the best out of you. So when I first moved there, it was a bit of tough love. Like, you know, we play football here. We don't come here to hang out. We play football here. So you got used to that. It wasn't even a professional. It wasn't even a professional environment.
It was just like
it's just we're not going to take your shit. Just get it done.
Yeah, it's the best way sometimes.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Hard ass.
And there's coaches that I didn't get along with.
Of course.
There's coaches I didn't get along with. We're now mates later on, but there's times where you butt heads and you just have it out and you just get on with the job. And I think being older, I was able to do that. You know, a lot of times if you have a young kid and he's scorned, he'll turn his back.
And take it very personal.
Exactly. Yeah. Where I was lucky enough to be able to see what we were trying to achieve and go, oh, it's just some people don't get along, and we're all trying to succeed in our own way.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's an amazing journey, to be honest. It's interesting seeing how everyone on the team has kind of had different journeys, but everyone's come together.
Yeah, there's so many different paths you can take. It's pretty crazy. I wonder how many more potential Andrew Davies or Jermaine Hopgoods there are out there just kind of playing local A-grade footy who, if you get that love, if you get that development put into them, there's potential there for success, you know. So
For sure.
I think it's important that we continue developing our pathways and putting money into expanding and growing the game out in those grassroots areas.
What do you think about that, the Vegas thing that's been confirmed?
That's the game
It's
round
next
one.
year. I think it's been confirmed. There's 4 teams in it. I don't think Parra's in it.
Manly's going
No,
over.
Manly, Brisbane, South Roosters.
Probably,
I think
yeah.
not exactly grassroots, but
Yeah.
I reckon those teams will be looking forward to it. That's for sure. I think
That'll be
I'm pretty
enjoyable.
upset that we're not going. I wouldn't mind going to Vegas.
Why is Parra not in there? I would have been right on there with you.
Yeah, no, I
Get in
think
the country.
I think I spoke to my mate from South. He said they're going and staying in LA for a week or something beforehand. So
Right, decompress.
Yeah, decompress for sure.
team bonding,
Yeah,
and then
some
we'll just
team
top it off in Vegas for a 3-week. I mean,
Wow.
3-night.
Carry on like
3
this
nights.
3 weeks.
Yeah, we'll see
Yeah,
how-
not bad.
we'll see how it goes.
Since we have been roomies for a long time, we have a few stories that we are able to share on here.
A few ones that are PG, hopefully.
Yeah. I think one memory for me that I think is pretty funny is the time that I locked him out on the back veranda, on the balcony.
Yeah.
So I have this habit where when the screen door is open, I would always close it and then lock it. because if you don't close it properly, it can like
Come back
creep
in.
open.
Yeah.
So he's sitting out there doing some work on his laptop or something, having a coffee. It's like
It would have been
10 a.m.
early.
in the morning
Yeah,
or something.
early.
I don't know. And I have to go quickly run and do something for like an hour. So I go out, I quickly go to do that thing, and I'm like almost at the location that I'm going to, and I get a call in my car. Hey, Andrew, Davey, what's he want? Oh,
he
you
looking for?
dickhead. I'm like, what's happened? He's like, you locked me out.
On the balcony. And you're an hour away.
I'm like, oh, sorry, man. I'm like, I'll be maybe 40 minutes. I'm like, I got to do this and this. He's like, I got to do a shit.
Oh no! Is that time?
When nature calls. I should have known it was like it was in the morning, and he's having his coffee out in the balcony.
Lord,
I was
after
furious.
coffee as well.
I was
I would've been
furious.
fuming. Head would have been gone.
So I'm like, oh man, I had to quickly run in, do the thing that I was doing, rush back, and he wasn't too happy when I just walked in and started laughing.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Man. How did you feel about that, AD?
I was furious. It's such a small thing, but it just inconvenienced me so much. I felt so sick. And the best, like, and that's like the beauty of us, is that nothing's ever too serious.
Yeah.
So soon I was furious the whole time he was gone. I was like this.
As soon as he walks in.
And then as soon as he walked in, he started laughing, and I just started giggling. I was like,
yeah,
I
that's
couldn't
the
help
one.
it.
You can't stay mad at him. That's
But
the do you have any ones about him?
yeah, I was thinking about it. You tipped up about this, and I was like, there's not a lot of stories we can tell. That's going to be a play on. But I remember early days when I moved in. Lane's like, I'll cook you dinner. And I'm
That's
like,
a nice
Matt.
gesture, Laney. That's a nice gesture.
I'm like, Matt, that's awesome. Sweet, he cooked me dinner. Yeah, all right, sweet. What are you making? Curried sausages. And I'm like, oh, I haven't had curried sausages in years. And live with mum for yonks.
Yeah.
And
I love
So
when
I-
Laney's just losing it because he knows where this is going.
mate, I'm sort of just minding my own business. I'm probably doing something on the way to as we're coming up to dinner, and he comes over and he goes, "Here you go, Cobb," and he throws down a plate of sausages and gravy, and that was it. That was it.
That was it.
That was the curry sausages. It was just a
That
plate,
was a meal.
and it was about this high off the plate. It was
like 10 sausages each or something.
and I'm like,
Handful sausages.
I'm like, where's the rice? He goes, what rice?
I don't eat it with
He
rice.
gave me a box salad to go with it.
The packaged salad from Woolies, they're off half the time.
But
That's a great meal, Laney.
That was like my first time moving out of home. So
You're like,
you know, I'd like to think I'm a bit better in the kitchen nowadays. So I've definitely grown. That was part of what we're talking about before, how we've seen each other learn and grow. And
cooking development's definitely gone up.
That's
yeah.
good, man. I love
AD
that.
was like, you know what? I'll cook dinner tonight. The next night, I think, made us a nice salad.
So are you a decent cook?
Yeah, I go right. Well,
Goes all right.
yeah, I'm not too bad.
Yeah.
The staple diet stuff's easy. Like especially when we're in pre-season, it's easy. I do that stuff well.
He makes my favorite dish of his is probably a pork belly bowl, where he does like a sticky barbecue sauce with it, and then he fries up a few potatoes, puts a bit of rice, snow peas, baby spinach in with it, like a nice.
That sounds decent. That's
Mate, delicious.
Come out for
delicious.
dinner then.
Yeah. So I make sure that when I go to the butcher every week, I get the pork belly.
Pork belly.
So and I go, your night's Wednesday, whatever else it is.
He gets a run every week, at least once a week.
100%. 6 again. All right. So these are the same 6 questions that I will be asking every week from now on. Joffa did pretty good job last week.
did
Did
a
you
good
reckon?
job, mate. Yeah,
He
sure.
did a good job last week with them. So I'll ask you the same 6 questions, starting off the first one that everyone wants to know: who's the biggest pest in the team?
It's got to be Reg, doesn't it?
I like the way everyone's like, I don't know, I don't really want to say it, but it has to be.
Yeah, well, it's close. Like it's.
Between Reg and who?
Oh, I was going to say Matto, but no, it's Reg. It's Reg every day of the week.
Definitely.
He's just annoying. Like you'd be minding your own business, and he's like a mozzie that won't leave you alone. He's just touching you or he's punching you. He's by far the pestiest person.
Yeah,
Well, everyone else who's been on, as well. They just watch him be a pest from afar most of the time. It's
It's
like
us.
you've been in the gym group. He's in
Oh,
my
they're
gym
just
group.
watching him
Yeah,
invest. Okay.
he's in my gym group, so he
Oh,
knows
okay.
firsthand.
Yeah, okay. So
It's
it's
close
kind
to the action.
Yeah,
Everyone
it's-
else is just sort of watching it
Watching.
happen. It's me and Laney get it.
of you lot copying it.
Yeah.
Second question: your all-time favorite movie?
Probably it's anything with Denzel in it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
That's me as well. I'm a
He's-
Big Denzel fan?
Yeah, he's a
big,
gangster,
big.
man.
He's
Oh,
just-
actually, American Gangster, I think it is.
Oh, yeah,
Cracker
yeah,
movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
You're
Through all his old
Training
stuff.
Day.
Training Day.
Oh,
Remember the Titans? Grouse.
Easy.
Equalizer.
A new one's coming out.
Third
One
one,
and two.
isn't it?
Not out yet. I think.
Equalizer. Third one
Coming up.
coming out soon, I think.
Yeah. So any movie with Denzel's a
Mate, he's a winner.
W
Yeah.
for me for sure. So.
He can play the same role too in every movie. It just never gets old. eh?
Basically the same every time. Yeah.
Oh, he's
Exact same guy.
best.
All right, next one. Any game day superstitions or rituals?
I just adopted all of yours because we're always together.
yeah. What is he? What?
No, we'll have brekkie in the morning.
Yeah.
After moving to the beaches, it was always game day swim.
Okay, no, you swim to prior to the game. You go for a
Yeah.
swim.
For playing at night, like halfway through the day,
Oh,
I'll go
nice.
have a swim in the ocean. I used to be like really very particular about how my pre-game went and what I did and that stuff. But as I sort of progressed, it sort of got thrown out the window. I was just end up doing whatever Laney was doing because I won't be lonely on the day.
I love that.
Go for a nap whenever I go for a nap. See you in 3 hours? Yeah.
Nap.
Just sleep all day.
Sleep all day and
That's my pregame. That's what I do, mate.
rock up to the game.
I probably I journal before the game.
Journal, like what like stuff you'd like to accomplish during the game?
No, it's
Or
just
just
purely
random?
how I feel.
Ah, okay,
Yeah,
nice.
and it's basically like a week, like that week,
Yeah.
and I'll just write down how it's like I'm unloading a little bit,
Nice.
and then I can go into. I feel like I go into the game.
Clear your
weightless.
mind.
Yeah, clear.
Clear your mind going to the game,
Yeah.
knowing what you have to do, being able to concentrate.
Yep. So as soon as I turn up 2 hours before the game, I'll get that out of the way, and then I can get on with.
Oh, amazing. That's an interesting one. I don't think we've had one like that, but that's really cool. I like
I think it's pretty similar in when I meditate. It's like accepting everything for what it is. Like I feel like it's the same kind of approach, and then just getting on with the job that you have in front of you and not worrying about what's actually happened. So it's slightly different approach, but I think trying to
similar
accomplish
sort
the
of
same thing pretty much. If you could be trapped with anyone on the team on a tropical island, who would it be? Maybe we should make it not myself. Anyone else besides
Oh
myself.
yeah, yeah.
Since we're roomies.
you
Because
can't, you can't,
it'd be
you-
just
you-
normal.
Anyone but
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Chat with you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He
They're
did
all-
that.
You can think about it for a bit. Think about it for a bit.
What did Joffa say? Who did he say? He said,
He said Micah.
oh, he said Micah.
Said Micah. You can think about it for.
Why has that cracked you
He
up?
just said he'd be feel like
Give
at
me them
home or
coconuts,
something.
boy.
Yeah, he'd feel at home or something. I don't know.
Yes, it's saying along those lines. I'm feeling very good.
I don't know. Everyone in our team's got velvet hands, so I guess I'll be doing all the heavy lifting.
If I was to be with someone, it would be AD for sure.
yeah.
Because he's a carpenter by trade.
Yeah,
he's a
so
handyman.
you know how to
Like I
survive.
feel like he'd be able to.
Yeah, spearer.
Yeah.
Know how to
Spearer.
get food.
Yeah.
Know how to cook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I could take
You
another one
don't
of
need,
me.
you don't need anyone. Yeah, exactly.
No, I'd
take
enjoy
on
the
your
peace.
own.
I'd enjoy the peace and quiet.
Yeah, for sure.
No one.
For sure.
Nah, I'll probably Joffa would be a good one, I reckon. Like I'd like to spend more time with Joffa just to ask him more about the whole Brisbane culture, being a fan of Brisbane at that time, and
Playing in that special game. that you
yeah.
played.
Which I mean, I don't have to be on an island for that. I can just get him alone.
For a beer
I'll
after
just
training.
I'll just corner him on Mad Monday.
Yeah.
Oh my
I'll have a few
goodness.
chats. If you could be anyone in the world for a day, who would it be?
It's a great question. Who did you pick? I always forget.
Leo.
Leo, yeah.
Yeah.
And we
Well,
don't, we
well,
don't,
let's-
we won't
let's give
specify the reasons why, but we remember Leo.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
watch us.
Let's give AD a minute. Let's go with your one.
Who would
who
I
would
be
you
for
be?
a day? Probably Drake.
Drake?
Yeah. Just to see what that stardom feels like for,
Yeah.
for one day and then just be like, yeah, nah.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think it would be that
I don't
great.
think it'd be fun. That's what I'm
No.
saying. I just want to experience it. And then they'll be like, oh, wow, it's different.
I reckon it'll be very full. Like when Joffa said LeBron James,
Yeah.
I was about to say he would be
Just for
one
the-
of the busiest men
Yeah, one of the busiest
in the
men.
world,
Yeah.
and then he wouldn't be able to go anywhere.
Yeah.
without being swamped by people all the time.
It's not. It's actually not fun.
LeBron would like stick out of the crowd too,
Yeah,
enormously.
exactly.
Like he wouldn't
Yeah.
actually be able to do anything. Drake would be similar. You'd have to go with security everywhere, probably.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be fun. I was with I don't know if you guys know the guy named Chunks. He's a
Chunks,
he's like a
Chunks.
YouTuber. So I
Yeah.
was with him like 2 weeks ago when he came over to do some stuff for JD, and he was talking about the last time he was here. I was like, it's weird. He can literally just say, "Hey, I'm at this location," and like 3,000 people show up.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like it's weird to even think that can happen. He's got like probably like 5 million followers, or
Wow.
5 to 10 all together in all platforms.
Does he
Like,
enjoy that?
No, you can just tell he's like head down, doesn't want to. He just likes to chill. He's very secluded, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nah, it's understandable, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Damn.
Who you got?
Who you got?
Yeah, I was going to go someone like high profile. Like it'd be cool to be Jordan or
Yeah.
Tiger Woods or something, just because of the accessibility they have to anything.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'd handle crowds well because of where
Yeah.
I'm from. Like
Yeah.
I struggle living in Sydney as it is. That's why I moved over to the beaches. So, but probably I don't know. Some people would know him, some people wouldn't. But Brody Moss. Have you ever heard of Brody Moss?
Yeah.
He's a YouTuber and he does all the things that I love. Like he's fishing all the time. He's spearfishing. He's camping.
Where's he live?
He lives in West Australia. He's over near Exmouth sort of area.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, and like his channel Youngbloods is like
He's just sitting there. Just
yeah,
living
like I
life,
got the subscription to it. Like it comes through every week. It'll come through with a new thing, and I'm
watching it.
downloading Yeah, watching it. And
Amazing.
I reckon that sort of life, that's secluded life, but like obviously so many people. Like he's got millions of followers.
Wow.
So many people know him, but he just
Still
lives
to himself.
Yeah, like a real wholesome life.
Jez Cameron's a little bit like that. I don't know if he's an AFL player, plays for Carlton. Oh no, Geelong, sorry. And he has a YouTube channel, but obviously not as big, but it's like he pretty much does all that kind of thing where he just goes fishing, you know, he's by himself, does all that kind of thing. So it's an interesting lifestyle, man.
Oh, it'd be a cool life.
Is that the life you'd love to live?
Actually, thinking about it now, this might be something I move into. You know, I've already picked out a place up north where I'd love to buy and get on my
Did
own.
you live that life, Laney? Outside the city, just, you know, quiet.
I've always lived in a city in Sydney, and then I moved to Auckland for a bit to play for the Warriors. But I think the older I get, the more I become interested in those wholesome activities, and the less I gravitate towards crowds and things like that. So I'd like to give it a crack one day, maybe. But yeah, the only thing is employment and things like that, you know. But
Got to be self-sufficient.
it's a nice fantasy to have, you know, just have a nice little cabin away somewhere and go do lots of wholesome activities out in the woods and do some fishing and things like that. We've had a holiday like that actually, where we're
Where'd you
doing
go?
some stuff like that.
We went to North Queensland.
North Queensland.
Was sort of where area where I grew up.
Yeah.
We went home to my home in Mackay, and then we sort of went everywhere. Like we just toured right up to Woodgill. Wodgil. We took the Cape Trib track, and everyone knows the Cape Tribulation track. It's horrendous.
Oh,
it's
really?
horrendous.
It's this like bumpy gravel road that goes for like, you have to drive along it for an hour to get from
And it's
Cape Tribulation in the Daintree up to this Aboriginal community.
it's like an hour
Woodgill.
just like
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
horrible.
bobbling.
as bad as I say that is, like obviously Telegraph track and that sort of those sorts of places up further up north are way worse. But Cape Trib on just your standard, your stock standard Ford Ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got up to Woodgill and we hadn't had anything to eat. We were like, let's go get something to eat here. We've got this burger from the tuck shop there.
What was it like?
It was just like
It's like an art gallery with a cafe or something.
Oh, really?
it was just like a stale bread roll.
Oh,
and like,
gosh.
it was
Yeah.
it was horrible. I wasn't expecting anything worse.
Yeah, it's not going to
But,
be.
but
The
anything
hospitality was nice. She was lovely. the
Yeah,
lady
yeah,
served it,
yeah.
but-
She was a lovely lady. We went to the waterfall up there as well. And so most of the waterfalls there in North Queensland are cool, and you can go for a swim there because most of the other swimming holes and on the beach and everything, there's crocs everywhere and jellyfish.
Yeah, that's
so very dangerous. But this one here was actually quite warm, and I'm like, you reckon I can go for a dip here? Or AD's like, if you want to get eaten, I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
if
like,
you wanna
sure,
get-
surely
get
there's
someone's
no crocs
breakfast.
up here, surely. Anyways, we go to this art gallery kind of little tuck shop thing, and she's like, oh, you should have seen this huge croc going past here this morning.
Oh, my God. And you
It
were
was
about
like
to
a
go
few
for-
hundred meters from where I was about to go for a dip.
I was throwing my hair like soldier.
Yeah, I told you,
Yeah.
mate. Oh, wow.
That was a good trip.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I guess that goes into the final question was, if you weren't playing rugby league professionally, what would you be doing?
Well, being older, you start to look at that sort of avenue, your next chapter in your life as you get towards the end of your career. But yeah, what I'd probably love to be a YouTube channel and just camping and fishing all the time. That'd be mad. But I think I'll still be involved with rugby league to some capacity. I've always wanted to give back, purely because of my story, like where I came from, and I didn't have any help. I was just determined enough to go and do it myself. So I see so many kids from even kids that I grew up with that were way more talented than I was, that never made it. So maybe if I can just give them an opportunity to be their best, they might then progress themselves into, not only a sporting career, but just better humans. Like we can just make better people. So I think somewhere in the realm of coaching kids in some manner.
Love that. Amazing.
Yeah, beautiful. Great way to finish it.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Thought train.
Yeah, onto the thought train.
What you got for us this week? Well, you said you weren't gonna. Well, all five of us said like prediction or no prediction, but you're gonna go with a prediction. Go whatever feels right. Lane,
Olan thought that his thought train was better than my thought train, and it's my segment.
About 3 weeks.
We made it for Lane, and I've overtaken it.
It's called thought train for a reason. You know what I mean? Hijacking it here. Go on.
But they've been predictions the whole season so far, so unsuccessful. But I thought long and hard about this next one, and I'm like, all right, I'm a basketball fan. I don't know if you are. The FIBA World Cup is coming up in the next few days. It begins, and after getting a bronze medal at the Tokyo Olympics, the Boomers looking very good for this World Cup as well. Probably an understrength USA squad as well, which would be our main competitor. So I'm going to tip the Boomers to at least make the final. I think they've got a great roster and they can really make some inroads in that competition.
There you go, man. That's the thought train for the week. I don't think you're far off either. AD, thanks for joining us on the couch. Hopefully we'll see you out there soon. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment, all the stuff that you normally do, and we will see you next week. Thanks to our sponsor, Sport Bible.